Alright guys, we're back with our little group, and we've got specifically Daisy in with this group with these dogs that cannot be bothered with her, so that she cannot pull her bully beat down on them the way she does with her sister. Alright, come on, let's go explore. So all of these dogs I can spin. Oh my god. Bailey! So Bailey's still available. I gotta tell you, Bailey's a big nice dog. Bailey's a big loaded dog though. All three. But really when I'm out here doing this, you guys, I'm thinking to myself, I'm just going to get 10 or 15 spins under my belt. I'm not saying, oh, it needs to love me. Daisy! It needs to listen to me. It needs to do these various things. I'm going to get 15, 20 spins in if I can and make everything go the way I want it to go. That's my plan. That's not always how it's going to go. Daisy! Good. Well, Truffle's kind of helped by knocking her down. And the fact that these dogs are just ignoring her. Daisy! So what I want you guys to remember, the end of the recall is it accepting the treat. There isn't just sort of a brush by. I can't remember what dog we had that did that. I kind of just do like the flyby. I think it was Scarlet. Scarlet the Husky's coming back for a visit. Sugar. Come on, let's go this way. Anyway, Sven keeps me posted on what's going on in Dave's Facebook, so. Apparently Dave is bored and thinking of taking a hobby of wrestling, gardening, or something else. I don't even know. That kid needs to start writing music, though. That kid needs to build a studio in his house, which is what all these other people do.
Yeah.
Start writing some music. Not sit around coming up with kooky hobbies. I don't have time for that. All right, we got that blind corner up here, but you need to kind of, if you see him going away, you can do it. You really do want to know. All right, Daisy's missing. Daisy! When this happens, good. This is where you've got to. Good girl. Good girl. Daisy. Truffles, excuse me. Do not bite my fingers. Bailey! I hear the neighbors over there. Show you how I make Bailey appear. I'm telling you guys, this is the most magical, absolutely most magical tool. In fact, maybe I could pay Dave to write a jingle for Dogtra. They need something. Am I wrong, Crystal?
No.
You know, not like I could convince them. I probably have more money than them. Mind you, we're going to have a contest and give away that ARC as the prize.
Right.
And it's going to be called the Cutest Dog Trainer Contest. We're going to have a lot of different categories. Daisy! All right, I spun that dog around. Daisy! Added my nick right there because she stopped to sniff something. Good girl. You see what happened? Because it was in food drive, it all worked out. We can't have some cutest dog trainer. We'll have a cutest singer contest. That's it. Kelly loves singing. I'm sorry. She just does. Always has. Daisy! She rode that page around, but then Bailey sort of got in the way. Daisy! Good girl. Oh, it's little unbridled enthusiasm. Yeah, Dave needs to get a hobby, and it's called writing songs. Am I wrong? Writing songs, and this is what I believe. Daisy, truffles! I can see it from the bushes right there. That's That's the benefit of the white ones. Good girl. You know, I want Dave, and you know, this is just in Kelly's fantasy world where she just watches, you know, the shows about rainbows. And you know, there's this kid on YouTube, Kurt Hugo Snyder. He's huge. He's a huge star on YouTube. What is that dog doing? Daisy! See how I spun Daisy around? He's getting moles or something right there.
Mm-hmm.
OMG. Anyway, back to Kurt Hugo. That's his name, Kurt Hugo Snyder. Anyway, he's able to make these amazing videos. I want Dave to befriend this guy. Dave needs to either befriend Kurt Hugo. I'm going to get that. Daisy! She started to look back. I would just get... Good girl. Ready to go to my Nick. Dave. Sugar! Sugar! Get over here. That's how you have to talk to dogs that don't have collars on and really aren't really that trained. That's what I've learned from other Americans. Anyway, so Dave either needs to A, befriend Kurt Hugo Snyder and get Kurt Hugo to make some videos, because Kurt Hugo seems to be able to make videos on a daily basis. Daisy! Or Dave, being the, you know, smart person that he is, can just copy some of Kurt Hugo's ideas. Daisy! You know, I think befriend him would be better, because then, you know, you've got that. But, you know, Dave, I know, has the ability to do staging, and, you know, he's got amazing music videos inside him. He just doesn't know it. You know, because they've got this guy, Kevin Slack, that directs their music videos. Okay, he doesn't need Kevin Slack. And I mean, not that Kevin Slack would ever watch this, because he would be like, who is this bitch? Oh no, the Kelly said more customers. The Kelly character is getting more edgy this year. And then later we find out that, you know, she was on Roxy Cotton. No, I'm just kidding. Crystal's like, oh my God, the storyline. Crystal, I told you the storyline's got to get more dramatic. Kelly just being this goofus doofus. Daisy! Just copying plots from soap operas, you guys. It's not true. Daisy. That was on Days of Our Lives. All right, come on. Anyway, so that's what I want to happen. I want Dave to befriend Kurt Hugo or just copy Kurt Hugo, some of his ideas. What in the world is in these bushes?
I don't know. Oh.
You know, because Dave could really crank out, apparently that one girl, Billy, that Sven's so in love with, has been doing a cover song every single day on her YouTube. Now, if Dave did something like that, I'll tell you who would be happy. Dave's biggest fan, that's who. Daisy! I'll tell you what I did right there. I could see, good girl. And all this is going to the big picture, you guys. I could see, Daisy! Look what that was right there. That was all just a pager, but I had let it up. That's what that pause was. All right, I don't like you biting in my hand. I'm really not even sure why I let it up, but then when I did it back again, she came back. All right, look at how dirty it is. Summer's in there trying to clean the dresser. You guys don't know this about me, but I just pile all my clothes on top of the dresser. I have so many clothes. Daisy! Daisy! All right, you couldn't really see that, but I added my Nick right there. Pop, pop, pull her back in this direction, and you've got to do that. But you can see if the dog is lost. I'll tell you how much attitude the dog is lost. Sometimes you need them to lose attitude. Daisy! She started short-stepping it as soon as she felt that tension. And yes, she is a little too exuberant, but we can always tone that down later. Once they get a droopy attitude, I can tell you there's nothing worse. Oh, God. You know, Dad could do some really amazing videos. I don't know why, you know. All right, look. Daisy! Daisy! OMG. Sugar! Is somebody out there? stayed on that page all the way until she got back to me. Kurt Hugo did this one. Sprint gave him some phones. You know, and Dave doesn't think these sponsors and stuff like people on YouTube. He couldn't be more wrong, because they're all over. So Sprint gave Kurt Hugo these phones, and they recorded the different things on the different phones and did the. I mean, and it was unbelievably cute. You know, and you know, yeah. I mean, of course, it's a good selling point for the phone. You know, because you got a lot of tech-savvy kids. You know, if you think that the kids that are being born now that are going to be next generation's musicians aren't going to be all over YouTube, I think you're wrong. That's just me. All I know is we're going to have to get a legitimate piano teacher in here for Findlay. You know, we're going to get a stuffed thimble doll. We're going to start doing a lot more marketing. I'm going to get that big dog. Bailey! Slow down. Ah! All right, guys, we got one more group. Bye.